Right here is what we're looking at. I'm gonna pull this out. It'll be easier if I pull this out. This is wood sorrel or sour grass. So here, if you take some, I don't know if you want to, I'll pass it around and chew on it.
What is this again?
This is wood sorrel. It's got the little yellow flowers are closed right now, but it's got little tiny yellow flowers. Oh man.
It's more clover than
No, actually, well, I'll tell you about it. It's not quite.
see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sour.
Oh, it's nice.
So it's a nice flavor to add to like a salad, right? So you know, these do look the same, don't they? But this is not. This is another kind of clover. It's called black medic. I don't know why it's called that actually.
With the yellow flower?
Yeah, with the yellow flower. See, this has yellow flowers too.
It's
But the flowers are well, they're closed for some reason right now, but they're more like their petals. And this one looks more like a regular clover flower, you know, where it's got a lot of little pieces to it. So that is actually edible, and it's another green. Oh, sure, it's another clover. That's green.
This one here?
Yeah, that would be, you know, that would be something that you would want to add for greens, and you can steam it a little bit or something like that to make it more. Because you know, if you steam it a little bit, it helps to make it easier to chew and digest. It's not like it's hard to chew, but I mean it just to the feel and stuff. And then you know, right here you got your dandelion greens that you can add. You know, this is, you know, you can still use these, I mean, but they're going to be a little more bitter. But see, when you add a little bit of sour, that kind of counteracts the bitterness a little bit. So you can all kinds of. See, here's dandelion again. I mean, this place is loaded with dandelions. This is where I came to harvest my dandelions for my dandelion dinner. Because it's just, I mean, it's just like a carpet of dandelions up here. You should have a dandelion festival one year.
Yeah, there you go.
And then here's another clover. This is another kind of clover right here. And this one is also edible. So, you know, all these clovers are edible greens, and they come up early in the spring. And
So when you say it's edible, you mean the flower or the leaves?
Both. Flowers are always edible of the clovers, yeah. Now, let me ask you about, did you all notice when you ate this, what happened in your mouth?
Lemony.
Well, the flavor, but what else? Saliva, saliva.
Yeah.
So like if you're out walking in the woods and you're dry and you don't have any water, and you find some wood sorrel, which is where it usually grows, is in the woods, in the shaded areas, eat that and your mouth will open so well. So that's why it's good. This is good for your glands too, because of that. So like if you have swollen glands, sour is the thing. I know, you know, even doctors will recommend putting a wedge of lemon juice, a wedge of lemon, and between your cheek and your teeth if you have, where you have a swelling, because that'll help to draw out the fluids from the glands.
Is the sorrel always a heart-shaped leaf?
Yeah, it looks very much like clover, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the color is not quite as it's a lighter color. And I wish the flowers were, but the flowers are like little yellow flowers with petals. There's a couple of other places around here that have where this growing. But
Seems to be a little bit lighter green.
yeah, right. That's what it is. It's a lighter green, definitely.
Here's another one too. This lamb's quarters or wall
yeah,
spinach.
right. Yeah, lamb's quarters can be that. You can, again, the fresh leaves like that. You can eat that. I mean, all those greens. That's what the body craves after a long winter of not having. I mean, now, like I said, you got the grocery stores, so you can go get your veggies. But you know, years ago, if you lived up here, you may not see it at a grocery store very often. It'll be in a grocery store very often. So let's head over here. So basically, we just gonna go from over there in the corner up to right past the bench over there, and not too far. But yeah, you can see all the dandelion all over the place here. And the yellow dandelions. Lutein, if you want your lutein fixed, now these you can just pick them and eat them. They don't put anything on them here.
That was my next question.
No, they don't. Well, you have to be careful.
Dave's out here spraying.
Yeah. That's the red clover. Stunted because of it being mowed back. Maybe. Let's see now. Oh. Okay, so here's the red clover, and it's got that characteristic, like that arrow shape or chevron, I think some people call it, in the leaves like that. That's a dead giveaway for red clover, and then of course the beautiful red flower, and that is edible. You could take like the flowering tops, including the leaves and stuff like that, and you could steam them a little bit before you eat them, or even if you want to stir fry them afterwards or add them to something like that. But it's good to parboil them a little bit, just because I think it starts to break it. Because the cellular structure of plants is much different than humans, and we can't digest them so easily. So you have to be able to break down the cells so that they can release the nutrients, and so that's what digestion does. But you still have the fiber, which kind of makes its way through, and so that's the other benefit of plants, is that you get that fiber, so it helps keep you regular, right? So it's always important to have that. Then there's the milkweed here. Have you ever got up close and smelled it? It's really a beautiful fragrance. But let me just. So look at that. Look at all the latex that pours out of there. I got a spot I wanted to put on. Right. Oh, where's that one? Here it is. See, I got a little bit of it's kind of a little bit of a brown patchy spot. So I'm just going to put that on there. And just let it dry. It kind of turns black eventually, interestingly enough. But that's one good thing for that. And then the pods. Well, obviously there's no pods yet, but when the pods are still green and before they start to look like before the floss are on the inside start to form, they are edible. So there's one right there. Oh, what's that? So that's the feeling. This is St. John's Wort, yep.
I just took a picture of this in my field yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
And you know how the internet now tells you
Oh,
what the plant is? I was like, this is
Yeah. Well, this
St.
is...
John's Wort.
Okay, well, I remember I was telling you, I showed you how it turns that oil red. Mm-hmm. So if you take, when it's flowering, let's get a bunch of this here.
It's St. John's Wort.
If you take the flower and you rub it in your hand, there it comes. You can see the red coming out of the yellow flower.
Cool.
It's kind of there. I don't know. It's. Did you see it?
So remind me again. You put that
in olive oil.
olive oil.
Yeah. So I take like a whatever size jar you want. I usually do a quart jar, and I just fill it up with the.
Fill it up with flowers.
I just cut off the flowering tops, so it includes some of the leaves. In fact, the other thing you should look at here, and then I cover it with olive oil, and then that's it. You just let it sit in the sun. You're gonna take it in at night, and after 3 or 4 weeks or so, you'll get that red color like that. The other thing, the other identification thing for this is, these are so small though. Let's see if you hold the leaves up to the light, you can actually see the white oil glands. Hold the leaves up. These are really small leaves, so it's kind of hard to see. But you have to. Can you see it? If you hold up,
Right for my eyes.
if you get, well, let's see some bigger. Oh shit! No, this is not an endangered. This is not an endangered species. I can tell you. Down in the southwest, this is considered a nuisance plant because remember when St. John's Wort they said it was popular for supposedly for depression, and they were saying that it increases sun sensitivity. So the cattle ranchers down southwest, their cattle was grazing on this, and they would break it. They got all kinds of skin problems because of it. So they don't. So it's a nuisance weed for them. But if you hold, I think it's yeah, hold this up to the light, and then you'll see a little leaf. You can see the little white oil. Oops. Magic list. Here, I'll send. Here's another branch for if you want to look at it. Did you see it?
Yeah, it's a little bright for me.
You're talking about those little white lines that go up
No,
the
no,
leaf?
no. In the actual body of the plant itself, there's little white spots where you can see light coming in. These leaves are really small, so they're usually bigger. The ones I.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see them? Now? Yeah. Those are oil glands.
Does anybody know them?
Okay, so now we're gonna head over this way. Now,
We need my magnifying glasses.
Cheryl, from here, to get to the bench, we have to go this way or that way. You know? To get to that bench from here, which is the best path to take? I'm not sure. Let's go this way, I
What
guess.
about these? Are these anything?
What? Oh, we're going to talk about those when we get over here. Yeah. But, here, right here is the path that I want. So.
Oh.
Here it goes right in front of, it'll go right in front of the bench. So. More red clover. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Right here. Okay, this is a good spot right here. All right. So we're going to talk about 3 different plants here. One of them is right there. One of them is right there. And one of them is right here. Now, anybody know what any of those plants are?
I know Queen's Anne lace has hairy legs.
Okay.
I would say that was Queen Anne lace.
Yeah, it is.
I could be wrong.
It
We
is.
used to
Oh,
have-
and there's a rhyme. It has a underwear and hairy legs.
Oh, nice. Like 4 years ago, our meadow was loaded with those.
Yeah.
And we don't have any this year.
Yeah, some years you don't get much, and other years there's
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. It's really prolific.
Am I right? This is Queen Anne's
it's
lace?
Queen Anne's lace. This is Burnett saxifrage. This is saxifrage. It looks very much similar, but they're completely different. And then this one, this is yarrow. So this one, I got here. Here, smell the leaf. Smell the leaf on this one.
Is that the more common name?
How
you spell it?
Crush the you want? Oh.
You said it was mint.
Oh, Minarda.
Minorda, sorry.
M-O-N-A-R-D.
Anyways, so they're very similar looking. Oh, thank you. They're very similar looking, but they're different plants altogether. There's a, oh yeah, there we go. So you can see they all have the white flower on both, but the one on the Burnett is saxifrage. Look at, they're kind of like little clusters. This is just one huge. It's almost like almost looks like a universe, doesn't it? Sitting up in the sky somewhere. And then this one is completely different flower, but it's very similar white, and it has that strong odor that you have. Now, but if you smell this one,
So does the Queen Anne's lace always have those things underneath?
yeah,
The underpants.
Oh, okay.
yeah, and they all fold up, and then you get they all fold up into like a little nest, they call it, a green thing, and then the seeds form inside there. Scratch this and smell it.
Scratch and sniff.
Scratch it. Yeah, scratch it.
Certainly scratch and sniff.
Try it. And
Ooh, it does smell like a carrot.
Is there sometimes a black dot in the center of these?
Red, well, it starts out red. Well, and that's why
Oh, wow,
that one of the stories that we're always told is that that's why it's called Queen Anne's lace, because Queen Anne was making lace one day, and she pricked her finger, and a drop of blood fell in the middle of the lace. So that's her drop of blood. It's Queen Anne's drop of blood, which it really isn't. But it's all, I'm not sure what exactly the significance of the red flower, but it doesn't occur in most of them. So I don't know I can't tell you that I know why it's there or not. But the yarrow is a great herb to know for the blood. So like if you like, for example, a woman who has excess menstrual bleeding, you could make a tea out of this and drink it. That would be helpful for that. Or if you have a problem with bruising, if you have a lot of bruising, drinking this occasionally would help with the bruising or prevent it if you bumped into something. The other thing that's really good for it is to take the leaves and crush them, and for healing a cut. It'll stop a small cut. It'll stop the bleeding within seconds. Because there's something in there. And I don't know what exactly it is, but I've seen it. I've done it myself. Because I have from growing. You know, I tend to do that. In fact, the last one I did was right here, a pretty significant cut with a knife, and it really helps. In fact, I think this one. If I can see what's going in there. There was one here. I think that's been slower to heal, and I think it's one of the things that they say that they're concerned about is that it closes up the wound too fast before it has a chance to heal. But in an emergency situation, I don't think you can always take it off and stuff. But it's really good for that purpose. I love it for that. And then there's just really one other. Let's see. Well, you know, the other thing, we have all these grasses here. You know, and you know, grasses are wheat and rye. Those are all grasses, right? So these grasses aren't like wheat and rye, but all these seeds are edible. So if you need a source of protein in your diet, you know, you can harvest these seeds and let them dry, and then add them to your food. You know, add them to your food. It's not, you can't make bread out of it because I don't think there's enough gluten or anything like that. So it'd be gluten free if you did make it. But the seeds are the part of the plant that are always used, and so it's good to know them. All right. So there's just one other one I want to show you here. Oh, there's two cars.
Oh, there's so much milkweed growing.
Yeah, that's good. I just wanted to point out. Oh, it's kind of far away. Oh, here. It's kind of far away, but there is a lone echinacea plant growing out there. I know it's a purple flower. It's, I don't know. Oh, actually, we're gonna have a spotter go out there.
Oh yeah.
See? But that is a native to the plains. Because it will help to pull out the poisons and help it to heal. So they call it a snake root. And now, of course, we use echinacea improperly for colds and flus, but it's not effective for colds and flus. But what it does is it enhances antibiotic activity. So if you take an antibiotic, it wouldn't be a bad idea to take echinacea along with it if you had some available. I mean, use the root. Echinacea root is what you usually do.
Second biggest bird after the California condor in North America, two white pelicans.
Oh, the pelicans? Oh, yeah. I think
Never
this
coming
is
here in
the
the
right spot
70s,
to say
never
that.
seen them.
Otherwise we'll lost the whole thing off on that.
The pelicans.
You went out there?
I went to the Pier Dam a couple years ago, and there's 200 of them fishing below the dam. The whole length of the dam.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in there.
All right, well, I seem to... I don't know what happened, where it went. Well, I got confused the other day, I guess. Oh, I'm looking for wild marjoram. And I thought it was up here, but maybe it isn't.
What color is it?
Purple?
Is this it?
No. That's snapweed, I think. Because there's also clover.
Was there a patch of it, or was it like
Yeah,
an
it was
isolated
just like
plant?
one.
Is
Oh,
it
here,
this
I see
one?
it. There it is. Yep, there
Yeah,
it is.
up here?
Okay. Yep, I just didn't walk far enough.
Cute. I've never seen this one. What is the one that's in there? What is this? Is that
This one? No, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that one. Here, this is. Here, this squeeze them. This is wild marjoram.
you can eat it?
Yeah. But I think the best thing to do with this is make it sweet. It's really
Spicy.
The the North Fire Station, the grounds are loaded with this.
Yeah, and you'll see it if this time of the year now. If you're driving down Old Trail, Old Stage Road, there's whole huge patches of them growing now. There's other purple flowers too, but if you can really, it's really quite distinctive. And this is good for your digestion. It's a member of the mint family, and one way you can tell a member of the mint family is because it has a square stem. If you look at the stem, it's square, it's not round. And so it's not really a mint per se, but mints are good for your digestion anyways. This is good for you, so like for gas and bloating, stuff like that. It would be a good tea for that. And it just tastes good, I think. So,
So your experience, what's the best identification app for your phone? Have you tried? I mean, there's a few of them out there.
Well, the only two I tried is that there's that new one that Google has, which actually did better than something that there's another one actually called.
I have picture this.
Yeah, well, there's one called. This is the one called Seek.
Seek?
Yeah, this is hooked up with. This is like an effort at citizen science. They actually there's a central place and you take a picture, and if they can identify it, then they'll know where it is, where you are, and so they can they start plotting where all this stuff is, and they sometimes they identify them, sometimes they won't, but there are a lot of things you can find, and all you have to do is take a picture of it. So it's called Seek, and it's free.
There's one called PlantNet.
Yeah, I haven't tried that one.
PlantNet.
Yeah. So, anyways, so that and then that the Seek, and then the one Google now has that one thing where you on your bar you can take a picture of it.
Yeah.
You can take a picture of
lens.
anything.
Yeah.
You can take a picture of you, and if you're on the internet, they'll find you. And that's kind of scary.
You're telling me that's an oregano.
Find your mugshot.
Well, some people call it wild oregano. Some people call it wild marjoram. I think there is another plant that we have that's here that looks similar to that. Is wild. It is the wild oregano. So I think it's just which one are you looking at?
The phone app.
Yeah. So they've made mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't know when I was done. So I think that I know that some people call this wild oregano. I've always known it as wild marjoram, and then somewhere in here there is wild oregano. I can't remember where it is.
We have wild oregano, and it does not bloom like this.
No, it's different. It's
So
purple.
that's what I was speaking of up at the North Fire Station is wild oregano, and I don't recall seeing blooms on it or ours that we have.
It's purple.
More modest than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful plant too. Yeah. I know it really is.
And the flavor's a lot milder
Yeah.
too. It's really,
Oh, I don't like that at all. The wild oregano. Yeah.
yeah, it's just.
It's also a mint family member, so it'd be good for your digestion, but it doesn't have very much flavor at all. This is really nice. This you could add to things.
It is so pretty.
Well, that's all I had, I guess.
At the beginning and the end.
Oh,
made it.
yeah.
I had to work.
Oh, yeah. So, any questions? While we walk back?
This is not
Cool.
put up anything other than oregano for that. But that's the way it is.
What app are you using?
Just the phone stuff.